Hi, welcome to Edward Box Guitar Tuition. So, got another classic album inspection for you today, and my cat back. November 1st, 1982, Night Ranger released their debut album, Dawn Patrol, a classic of AOR and hard rock, American hard rock. So, it's 40 years old today. Brad Gillis, their guitarist, had been in Ozzy Osbourne for a short spell upon the death of Randy Rhoads. Done well in that position. They were called Ranger, and were called Ranger right up until this album was pressed, and then a band called Ranger from California complained, so the record label Boardwalk had to pulp, destroy all the albums they printed, and they changed the name to Night Ranger, which was a track on the album, and the rest is history. They went on to have a good career for a few years. So this album made number 38 in the US charts. I think it's probably nearly gold. Produced by Pat Glasser. I think they had a production deal with him. It's a good sounding record, not great, but it kind of captures the honesty of the band. It hasn't got any excessive polish on it. So let's go through it. It's got 10 tracks. Opens with Don't Tell Me You Love Me, which is probably White Night Ranger's signature track, or one of them. They've got two others, I think, Sister Christian and You Can Still Rock in America. This is a phenomenal song. Got a really cool pick guitar intro, and then this kind of crunching F sharp, crunchy pedal riff comes in conjunction with the pick riff. I'm not sure who came up with it. Maybe Jeff Watson came up with that riff. I don't know. But really good track, really good vocal by Jack Blades. Breaks down in the verses with like the cool keyboard part from Alan Fitzgerald, who'd been in Montrose, and Sammy Hagar. Really good. And it's got a fantastic guitar solo, just an all-time great guitar solo. And I think it shows the strength of the band. Although they've got this commercial hard rock, at times AOR sound, they've got kick-ass guitar. So Brad Gillis takes the first solo and Jeff Watson the second. And it shows the really cool contrast between the players. So, and Brad Gillis, right out of the box, shows two of his innovations on guitar on his solo. So he uses a tremolo bar and flicks the bar to create a fluttering effect on the last phrase, and then he hits a high harmonic and pulls it up and pitches it to the note of E. I think it's the note of E, and just wiggles it, as it were. So no one else was doing this. I mean, Van Halen was doing stuff with the tremolo bar, but not this kind of precision, and Gillis needs to get respect for this. Vice copied this in other players. He's got a really fat tone as well, Brad Gillis. Does some really cool scooping with the bar. Jeff Watson comes in, he plays this really complex lick that's picked. Actually, when you watch him play it, it's really hard to play. I need to learn it. But he does a great solo, but it's completely different from Brad Gillis's, and just the counterpoint's brilliant. And then they go into harmony at the end. It's a perfect hard rock track, this. They never did a better track. It's weird. Sometimes you get this on albums. Bon Jovi's first album's the same. It starts off, it's their best album, and it starts with their best track. I think this is the same with this album, which is kind of unfortunate for Night Ranger, but they did loads of other good stuff. Next track, Sing Me Away. This is 409. So, second thing, Kelly Keagy sings this, the drummer. So, unique about Night Ranger, they've got two lead singers, Jack Blades, bass and vocals, Kelly Keagy, drums and vocals. So, Kelly Keagy sings the lead on this. And quite unusual, I mean, Night Ranger don't always have distinctive riffs, if I'm honest. But this is like a really, because sometimes the keyboards are kind of carrying stuff more. But this has got a great riff on this. Jeff Watson does a really cool neck pickup, Les Paul solo. Really nice sort of soft chorus on this as well. So it's doing that kind of little counter thing where instead of having a bombastic chorus, you've got a softer one. It's another really cool track, one of the best tracks. Then track 3's At Night She Sleeps, 4 minutes and 8. It's got quite a funky keyboard line on this. They're quite unusual Night Ranger's keyboard sounds. I mean, if there's a criticism of them, songs are a bit dated. They don't have sort of classic keyboard sounds at times. They're a little bit date stamped, but it kind of gives them a different sound to other bands that use keyboards. But this is a really good track. There's a nice sort of end section where they kind of do backing vocals of "Are You Sleepy," which works really well. Nice solo. Brad brings out some more whammies. Then there's kind of a ballady track, Call My Name. This is 3:42. Actually, feels more epic, this track. It's got a really cool epic middle section with big guitars and police sirens and stuff. Very good track. And then Eddie's Coming Out Tonight is track 5, which originally finishes the side one. 4 minutes 26. This starts with a really cool riff. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, Brad again does some amazing high harmonic with pulling up the bar and doing clever pitching. So that was the end of side one. It's a really strong side one. You can't really fault the writing, the playing. It's got its own sound. It's got its own take. Really, really good. So side two opens with Can't Find Me a Thrill. This is another really good rocking track. Jack Blades sings this. Actually, I would say on this album, I think Jack Blades, maybe he sings more than Kelly Keagy, I think. Actually, maybe not. I'd have to count through the tracks, so maybe do that at the end. Sorry. So yeah, Can't Find Me a Thrill. This has got a really cool Jeff solo. He comes in with trill. He does some really, he builds up a lovely pentatonic solo, sort of with a bit of Schenker vibe. Really like it. Got a cool fade out. Then you got Young Girl in Love next, which is probably the weakest track on the album, but it's okay. Kelly Keagy sings this, 3:32. It's a pleasant enough track. Then Young Girl Play Rough's next. This is a really rocking track with Jack Blades singing. Again, Brad Gillis does some really cool whammy work on this at the end on the fade out. I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, Jeff does some cool soloing on this as well. So this is a really cool track. Got a great sort of verse, chorus as well. Next track's Penny, 3:47. Again, this is a more poppy track with Kelly Keagy singing, but it works really well. Brad Gillis does another little trademark on the solo here. So what he does, he trills thirds, minor thirds and major thirds, which he moves around, but he scoops the bar as he's doing it. Well. That's another kind of trademark of his. It's really cool. It's a great solo. And then the album finishes with 4:22 in Night Ranger, the title song of the band. This is where they took the name. So this has got a cool kind of riff to start off. I did a kind of feature on this channel a couple of years ago on All Night Rangers albums, and someone pointed out when I shared it that this riff sounds like Between the Eyes by Rat. And if you listen to the track Between the Eyes by Rat on the Invasion of Privacy album, it's identical, the first part of it. This is really good. It goes up into double time for a middle section, and I think it shows like how good Kelly Keagy's drumming is. He's doing a double tick 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 tick. He's really tight. He's really on it. The whole band's really punchy. Alan Fitzgerald is a good keyboard line, and Jeff and Brad trade off. And yeah, you can really tell that they work so well together, Gillis and Watson, but you can tell them apart. I think sometimes it's harder to tell some guitar teams apart. Sometimes I struggle with Gorham and Robinson. On some bits of the Wah Wah's not being used, and some people might struggle with Downing and Tipton or Smith and Murray on occasion. But you don't do that with Brad and Jeff because you've got Brad with a whammy. So Jeff Watson doesn't develop his trademark, which is 8-finger tapping to the next album. So Jeff still kind of make his extra mark, as it were. But I think they're underrated guitarists in a lot of ways. But Night Range is a great finishing track, and the way it breaks down, and that finishes the album. Easily a 9 out of 10. I've always liked this album, but every time I listen to it now, I just really appreciate the quality of the writing. I think it's better than I realised. Some people prefer the next album, Midnight of Madness, which we'll review next year. But for me, this is the best one. I think the production could be a bit better, but it's a decent sounding record. I'd love to see it remastered, and hopefully that'll happen sometime. But it's got a consistency the band never really managed to get again. But it would have more success with the next couple of records. A band with a really, really cool sound, really good musicians, and great songwriting, a nice variety, and a nice balance, because you've got the different guitarists and singers. I was just going to say, how many tracks does Kelly Keagy sing? He sings Sing Me Away, At Night She Sleeps, Young Girl in Love, and Penny. So he sings 4 and Jack Blades sings 6. So generally, you get that sort of balance one way or the other on Night Ranger albums. Okay, thanks very much. Dawn Patrol, 40 years old today. Great record, check it out, and I'll see you again. Thanks very much, bye.